We are Team XD, an X and a D, made to look like a smiley face, and our video game is called Fat Robot Panic. And our target audience is 4-year-olds to 9-year-olds, and the issue it is interacting with is young childhood health, and also young children who are obese or suffering or getting close to being obese. Now, our game is a very simple game. It's a game made in HTML and JavaScript. And basically, the player plays a robot, and the robot's name is XD. And in this game, the game has very simple controls. You can move either to the left or to the right, as signified by the arrow key graphical user interface that we put on our game. And Jill, if you could just play around with it, the 2 hour, or it's up to you. And basically, when the kid is playing the game, the goal of the game is to collect the healthy food, and we also have unhealthy food. And the unhealthy food will not reach you to your goal, but if you get the healthy food, it will reach your goal. So we have the goal weight, and we also have the current weight, and the goal is to get your current weight down to the goal weight. So the game is made to be intuitive. So when the kid first plays the game, they could lose, and that's not a problem at all, because the game is meant to be replayed again and again and again to teach the child. Now the food in the game, they have different eyes. Like the healthy food has friendly looking eyes, and the unhealthy food has evil looking eyes. So the goal is to get the children to play the game, perhaps in a doctor's office where I believe they would play it. Like, if you have ever been to your doctor's office, they have a computer monitor in the room. And if we can encourage doctors to get the children to play this game while they're waiting for their doctor to come into the room, I believe that it could help a lot of children out. It could also encourage them to learn more about health and learn more about being healthy. Now, at the end of the game, when whether the player wins the game or loses the game, they'll be directed to a link that brings them to the USDA health guidelines for eating right. So, our game can also be ported to mobile if one would like it to be ported. So I'm saying it is possible because the only two keys that are being used is the left arrow key and the right arrow key. So it would be very easy to port. Now, the player can begin the game by pressing the start button, but that's how they begin. When the child is first going to play the game, they do not have to click the start button, so there's no panic immediately. They can literally just play with the robot using the two controls, move to the left, move to the right, so they can play around. So there's no worry right off the bat. And the player can also restart the game if they want to, if they think they have lost beyond all repair. And yeah, when they win, it'll tell them they won, really happy screen. If they lose, it'll give a screen that says, the robot will say, you lost, but don't give up, try again, to encourage the child to play again and win the game. So our team tried to make a fun and an addicting game. And that is our video game.
Are there different levels of this game?
There is one level. We have made one level to it. It is possible to make other levels,
yes.
But we tried to focus on one game that had a good tutorial, would be easy for a young child to play. We took into account that the children who will be playing it are young, so they're going to be processing the game at a good pace, but we did not want to make it too hard, way too complicated, and we did not want to make it too easy either. So we did so many play tests and iterations of the game to make it fun, to make like a one fun replayable level. So as you can also see, if we were to restart the game, we also made indicators for columns to see where the player can move their character to. So we try to have a whole bunch of indicators to show a good way to play the game.
Okay, so work with me a little bit on this one. So I think you have potential here. So you have them go into a website on health guidelines, and you're talking about ages 4 to 9. So ages 4 to 9 reading the health website, that's not enough, right? Okay? So how would you, if we wrote a check to you and gave you money to develop this, okay? How would you maybe get more health-related information early on in this game? Because you've got it here. Okay? How do you get more health-related information to the kids?
More health information to the kids. Well, I would say I would redesign a website.
Okay.
That it would be so that the children would be linked to. They
Okay.
can maybe use the fun images that we've used here, all the food images, and
Right.
maybe we could explain health nutrition facts to them.
Right.
And saying if you replace Doritos
Right.
with an avocado, or maybe
Right, and
some
that's
other
my thing,
vegetable.
is like you have it there, okay? That avocado means something to them. They need to understand what an avocado is, just, and that it's an avocado, and that it has a very specific health-related impact on them. So if you develop this, that's what you want to push, because you have the basics there.
Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you. If you were, you're thinking like 4 to 9, is there any other metric that you can think of instead of like weight and like weight
Yeah.
loss? I understand like
That's a good
obesity, but if we, if we think about kids, maybe numbers and like scales, that's probably not a good thing to start children on if we think about like body image.
Yeah.
Are there any other like numbers that you could think of or ways that you could score?
Yes, when we were designing the game, we originally thought of, instead of using weight loss as a goal, we thought of making maybe like more of the body as a goal. Like we were thinking if the children chose the appropriate goals, we would replace the robot with like a really buff type of robot, or a very fit type of robot. Or if the children chose the other type of health, maybe like more round robot. I also wanted to say we also chose a robot instead of like any type of person for this game, because we do not want to get in the children's mind. Like we do not want to make them like self-conscious in any way, saying that there's always a choice. Like they can go from whatever way they are now to a more healthy style. Like there's always a choice. You could always like reverse that. I'm sorry, did I answer your question?
You did.
Please, any more questions, please?
Do you think this would work for adults? Why are you targeting 4 to 9?
I was thinking the same. Well, we did have some versions for adults that they could play it, but the game runs at a very fast pace, and the weight loss score is a lot lower. So it's a challenge to play. You're really moving those arrow keys fast,
Okay.
and it's definitely doable. Like we could tweak a couple things, and an adult could
All
play
it
this
does is
game.
just drop your score by a point. How do you think, so I'm thinking of a way, but how do you think you can market this?
Okay, well, I would say I would probably go to maybe pediatricians, or maybe that may be the wrong type of doctor. Probably doctors who deal with children, and I would go to them and say, hey, I know you have so many children in your waiting rooms all the time, and I know they're bored out of their minds, because I know whenever a child goes into their doctor's office, I know they're not going to be reading those highlight magazines. So, or any of the various magazines that they have.
There are several companies
I
trying
was
to
gonna
put.
say, there's companies that do that, right?
Yeah. So you just need to go to the companies.
Oh, okay.
And then ask them,
Yeah.
probably just a few more iterations,
Right.
you can try to get this
You
on
can
a
push
lot
that
of
for a
computers.
company.
I think so too, and I
Right.
think that there's additional market opportunities besides doctor's offices.
Yeah.
Doctor's offices is an N of one.
Yeah.
You need a broader market.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a business student or whatever, you still need to have the sort of scope of how you think about how to really get this to the next level from let's get it really used.
One of the great places I could think this being deployed is public libraries.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be a quick application that they can install on every computer. Actually, they don't even need to do that. They can just when they open the web browser, it sends them to the link. So,
Thank you, guys.
Your name one more time?
okay, our team's name is Team XD, capital X, capital D. We chose that name because if you turn it sideways, it's like a smiley face.
Can you also, when you guys introduce, let us know what level student you are and what school or department? I just think it doesn't affect our scores. I just think it's interesting.
Okay, let me make this clear about who did what. So we
Not
had,
who did what,
Not
what
who did
school, what
Oh,
What
okay,
school
department.
is like, whether you're an undergraduate or graduate.
Okay, I am an undergrad. I go to the School of Information Science at the University of Pittsburgh.
I'm graduated from computer science, and our team member arrived.
Oh,
And what are they? What schools are they in?
I'm sorry. What school? iSchool, says School of
Yeah,
Information
okay.
Science.
Great.